You are watching The Attorney Show. Our eminent guest for today is prominent immigration attorney Mr. Rahul Reddy from Reddy and Newman PC. Hello, sir, and welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you, Nitya Garu, for welcome.
Thank you, sir. And call our expert on 1-833-882-8872. For those who are tuning in, the number again is 1-833-882-8872. All right, let's jump into the topic for today. The road to EB-1C from EB-2, planning your essential year working abroad. Sir, what are you referring to when you're talking about going from EB-2 to EB-1C? How easy is it? How hard is it? Can we do it? Who cannot do it? What are some of the do's and don'ts? Please explain to us.
As you know, Nitya, the priority dates have moved all the way to December of 2014 and then moved back again. And for those people who have been waiting in line, starting from January 1st of 2015 to right now, they couldn't file the 485 application. And it may take a long time for them to ever file a 485 application. So a lot of people who are between January 1st of 2015 all the way to right now, they are considering, or they should consider, EB-1C category. What is EB-1C category? It's considered as a multinational executive position. So, for example, if a person is a high-level multinational executive position in India, he worked for that company for 1 year, and then he moves to United States. He works as a multinational executive position here in United States. They can get an EB-1C I-140 approval. Luckily, they do have a premium processing too right now. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, and the priority date is backlogged still for this one too by about 3 or 4 years. But when it comes to EB-2 and EB-3, EB-1 category is not backlogged that much. So a lot of the people who are here in United States on EB-2 or EB-3 are considering moving into EB-1C category. So for that, what they have to do is that they have to go outside the country. They have to work at a very high level position outside the country for 1 year for the same company. They have to come back into United States and have to work for the same company. And that company, only that company can file an I-140 under EB-1C. The good part, Nitya, is that you can move the priority date from EB-2 to EB-3. So if somebody's priority date is anywhere between January 2015 to 2020, they move back to India, work for about a year, and then come back into the United States and file an EB-1C category. Their priority date will be the same as EB-2. Once the I-140 is approved, they can file the adjustment of status and the green card and ever after. But if they are planning to still wait an EB-2 category though, it may take a long time for them to get the green card.
Sir, what is the average wait time now for someone in EB-2?
EB-2, even though the priority date is backlogged by about 2011 or 2012, which means that it's about 13 to 14 years, it is not true when it comes to the people who will be in 2015, 2016, 17, 18, because it is not expected to move in the same fashion. There's a lot of bottleneck in it. It may take decades, if not even centuries. Now, I really meant centuries. Exactly, yes. People may not live that long, but if they do live, they can. It mostly will be that whether you are going to outlive me, I'm going to outlive you. And that's when we can get the priority date current especially for those people who are filing right now. So that's the reason if somebody wants to get the green card in the United States, EB-1 should be one of their considerations to get the green card faster, especially for Indian nationals. Non-Indian nationals, the waiting period is not that high.
Right. So is it necessary that they have to move back only to India, or can they move to any other country wherever the company is operating?
They can go to Mexico, they can move to any country. It doesn't have to be India. It can be Canada, it can be any other country, but not United States.
Okay, got it. And how long do they have to be there? And can they visit the United States while they're there? And does it count towards the time?
It has to be 1 year that they have to be working for the foreign company. Okay. Anytime they can visit United States, absolutely they're allowed to. However, any time period they are visiting United States, though, will be deducted from the 1 year period.
Okay.
Now, that's only visiting USA. What if they're visiting Japan? They're working in Canada, they're visiting Japan? No, that still will be counted towards the 1 year period. But if they're visiting United States, that time period will be deducted from the 1 year period.
Got it. And are there any other considerations, especially for people who have children?
Well, one, it's good point that especially we're seeing a lot of kids who are born outside the country. They will be aged out if these people will plan to go the green card in EB-2 or the EB-3 process. They should consider filing. They should consider going to get an EB-1C so that the kids will be getting the green card. Otherwise, the kids have to sail or swim their own way, and they will never get the green card either because they still have to wait in a line. They cannot port the priority dates from parents' I-140 to their I-140. So it will take a long time. If not, kids are not going to get the green card either.
Okay, that makes sense, sir. And any other considerations to take into account, for people who are trying this? What sort of designations do you think qualify for this?
As I said, Nitya, it has to be a high-level manager. More than 70% of the job duties should be allocated supervising the people and people's work. Less than 30% of the job duties should be allocated to actually doing the work. So that's more important. The USCIS will look into every aspect of it, every job description of it, the job duty percentages for which they are dedicating. I would say that if they are at a minimum of 7 employees that they are supervising, it's going to be good. Now, they don't look whether the employees that they are supervising in the same country or a different country at this point of time. So they should consider the job with more than 7 people supervising. The job duties are more supervising the people and less working on the on a supervisory duties. There should be more than 70%. The actual job working on the things should be less than 30%.
Okay. Rahul, one more question, Andy. When such people come back to the country, can their role change while they're here?
Absolutely. Their role can change, but still they have to be at a higher level manager to file the EB-1C. So previously, let's say, for example, Infosys allocated this gentleman to work on Walmart, and now they are going to the healthcare industry in the same IT field. Let's assume that, and they're working at a high level manager. That still is fine. It doesn't have to be in the same field. It could be in the same area. It could be in a different area also. As long as it's a high level manager, they can still get the EB-1C I-140.
Okay. But as long as this application is under process, they cannot go back to, say, a more technical role and stuff like that, right? So
that's right. The technical role should be very less. It's more supervisory role. Yeah.
Okay. And Rahul sir, anything else you would like to add to this?
No.
Other than EB-1C, are there any other options under the EB-1 category that they can look
Oh,
at?
there are other options too, but it's going to take a long time for me to discuss. There's also EB-1A category. People can consider that, extraordinary ability. There is EB-1B, outstanding researcher they can consider. There is EB-5 category. Now, EB-5 category is investment of $800,000 or more. But in the EB-5 category, there are certain categories where the priority dates is backlogged, certain categories the priority date is not backlogged. The unfortunate thing in EB-5 thing is you can't move the priority date from EB-2 or EB-3 or EB-1 to EB-5. You can only do it from EB-2 to EB-1, EB-3 to EB-1, but not from EB-2 or EB-3 to EB-5.
Makes sense. Okay. All right. Thank you, Rahul sir. On that note, let's take our first caller. But before we go on to the first caller, if you are tuned in, call our expert on 1-833-882-8872. The number again is 1-833-882-8872. All right, on to our first caller for the day. Caller with number ending in 2105. 2105, we're ready for you now. Hello. For the viewers who are tuning in. Hi, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Thank you for calling TV9. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hello, Nityamaru and Nitina. Hello, Rahul sir. I have 2 questions. My priority date is October 2013, and my daughter, she's 19-year-old, and this summer she would like to do the internship using GCAD. So the current status for her is that she's on H4. So I would like to know that what is the right course of action for her? Shall she continue with GCAD or she has to go to visa?
She's covered under the Child Service Protection Act, is that right? You know what that act is? And is she protected on it? Or you don't know whether she's protected or not?
She is protected, so my date was current, by that time, I filed for it.
I mean, I got your point. So at the time she's under 21, she filed the adjustment of status, I-140 was approved, and the priority date filing date was current at all four things happened at the same time. So that means that she's protected under the Child Service Protection Act. I would advise people, I mean, there is always a risk element though, okay? There is always a small risk element though in this. But if my daughter is priority date, if my daughter's priority date is locked in CSPA, I will tell my daughter to use the EAD though. Instead of staking on the H4, as you know that the H4 she cannot work, and if she cannot work, she will be limited. She will be limited because to career advancement, to educational advancement. So there are a lot of risks associated with the child's advancement if she does not use the to go on the adjustment status. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. And one more thing. So if she moved to the EAD, right? In case if I would like to, put my property on rental like Airbnb, can I appoint her as a manager? When she moved to the EAD.
You can definitely, as an EAD person, she can do too. You have an EAD too. You can be doing part-time something else also other than the main job. Your wife, hopefully, so your wife has also EAD. She can be a property manager too. Yeah, any of three of you can be. Any three of you can be. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for calling us, sir. Have a nice day. All right. For those who are tuned in and trying to call us, please make sure that if your line is muted, please press *6 to unmute your line. Just keep a note of it when we say hello, so that way you can talk to us right away. All right, on to our next caller now. Okay, caller with number ending in 2915. 2915, we're ready for you now. Hello. Thank you so much for calling us, sir. Caller with number ending in 2915. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hi, ma'am. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for calling us. Please go ahead with your question, ma'am.
Hi. Hi, Adya. Yeah. Hi, Rahul. So I do have two questions. It might not be about like transfer from EB-2 to EB-1, EB-1C. But my two questions are, the first one is I recently moved my employer, which means I was working with someone else and I moved to someone else now.
Company A to
so
company
my
B.
Old employer, company A to company B. And company A filed for my I-140 and it's approved. And my priority date is very far away. It was approved in July of 2023.
Okay. Keep going.
So I moved to B. So should I really go ahead and apply for my I-140 here as well? Because my priority date is not current anytime. Is it valid for me to still hold on to the old one? Or should I reapply for my permanent I-140?
You're in no hurry to apply for the permanent I-140 right now. If you're not expecting the priority date to become current, you can use this I-140 to extend the H-1B with company B, even if the company B does not file the I-140, gets I-140 approval. You can move from company B to company C using company A's I-140 approval, because it's been approved for more than 6 months. It's not been withdrawn until 6 months after it's been approved. So you can use company A's I-140 approval to move on to company C. You can use the company A's I-140 approval without a labor certification or I-140 from company B or company C to company D, company E, company F, all the way to company Z. Okay? No problem with it.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
Okay.
And my second question is for a friend of mine. So he was recently let go from a company A, and then he joined company B. But what happened in company A was they offered him the severance package, but it's going to go until for few months later. They're not giving it immediately. So they're
So you mean to say
so they're going to pay
within the 60-day period after he got laid off from company A to company B, he joined company B.
Exactly.
He is getting paid
Yeah.
from company B at this point of time. Company A is going
Yeah.
to give the severance pay somewhere after he started working for company B. Will this create any problem
Right.
because he is getting paycheck from both the people? Absolutely
Right.
not. Because he is not getting
Okay.
paid for the work that he is doing with company B or company A right now. He is getting the severance for what he has done in the past with company A. So I don't see no problem whatsoever at all in receiving a severance paycheck from company A, even though he started working from company B on H-1B, even though he started getting the paycheck from company B, he has no problem to get the severance pay from company A. We'll go to the next
Awesome.
person.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling
Yeah,
us.
that should be it for me. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Nitya.
Thank you so much for calling us. Yeah, have a nice day. Let's take our next caller.
You too.
Okay, caller with number ending in 0353. 0353, we're ready for you now. Hello? Caller with number ending in 0353. We're ready for you? Okay, let's try to take the next caller then. Let's take our next caller. Okay, caller with number ending in 5253. 5253, we're ready for you now. Hello?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Thank you for calling TV9 USA. Please go ahead with your question. And press *6 to unmute your line, sir. *6 to unmute your line. Hello?
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, hi, Mr. Rahul and Nitya. I have a quick question about EB-5. You mentioned about if a person is an EB-2 or EB-3, we can only move to EB-1, but we cannot move back to EB-5 is what you said, right? So
you can move to EB-5,
let's say
but you cannot carry the priority date.
Cannot carry the priority date. So if let's say I have a priority date of 2016 right now, but if I want to move to EB-5, then my priority date will be moving to 2024 going forward from that point. Is that what you're saying?
You're absolutely right.
Okay. So, okay, but once we go to EB-5 and if we want to move to, I mean, I know like once we go to EB-5, maybe we'll just take it there and we'll be staying there. But if you want to switch in between, can we do that or no? It's not allowed at all.
There are ways to, so EB-5 takes a long time for you to get the green card. So what you're telling is that some untoward situations happens in EB-5 or maybe EB-5 completely gets denied. Can you move back to EB-2 or EB-3? Yeah, you can. Assuming that you didn't use the EAD, the switching back to EB-2 is fairly simple. Assuming that you use the EAD, the only thing that you have to do is that you will have to go and get the H-1B stamp outside the country and come back in. Other than that extra hurdle of going and getting the stamping of H-1B, I don't see any problem in moving back to EB-2 or EB-3.
All right. In this case, will I be getting back the 2017 priority date that I have, or will I be getting a new priority date when I go for EB-2?
You will get 2017 priority date.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling
Good
us.
question. Good question.
Well, sir, this is a very interesting tidbit of information, sir. This was sort of unknown that we can get back our original priority date.
We can get, and a lot of people, if by any chance you get the EB-1C failed, EB-2 failed, EB-1A, EB-1B, or EB-1C, if by any chance you fail to obtain the I-140, your EB-2 and your EB-3 is not going anywhere. You will still have that priority date. You will have no problem in getting the priority date.
Sir, in case, we've let the EB-2 or EB-3 lapse and then we come back, do we still get to keep that priority date or no?
Absolutely, anytime. Once the priority date is
with any employer, correct?
With any employer at any point of time, you can get. You are absolutely right. That cap exempt. So once the person has an I-140 approval and H-1B counted, H-1B, they don't need to be counted toward the H-1B for the next 90 years. Why not 91 years? I don't expect people to live that long. And they can keep on carrying the I-140 for the next 90 years. No problem with the priority date. Sorry, I interrupted you, sir. You go ahead.
Thank you, sir. All right. Caller with number ending in 0353, sir. Hi, sir.
Hi, madam. My name is Venkat. I would like to speak to the Rahul, sir.
Attorney? Yes, sir. Sure. Absolutely. Please go ahead with your question, sir.
Okay. Hi, sir. I have a query, actually. So I had applied for L1A visa in India. However, during the interview, they had processed me for L1B, and my position was a manager in a so-and-so organization. However, I really don't know she said like certain criteria was not filled despite I given my best over the interview. And I traveled to US on L1B, and later my company's attorneys has filed the petition for L1A later. However, it's in process right now. And in between, they had applied for H1B as well. So since I was a senior manager in my company in India itself, and I was in that specific role in India for more than 2 to 3 years in India. And later I moved under the same designation to United States. So I heard, I have a query, like in case if I choose to stay on H1B, as part of like L1B to H1B, and is it feasible for the attorneys to file, for the company basically to file from H1B under managerial role to EB-1C?
Absolutely. So let's say, for example, you were working for company A in India, and you're working with the same company here in United States, company A, okay? Even though you are on H1B, can the company file a EB-1C I-140 approval? Absolutely, they can file. Do you need to be an L1A only? No, it's not required that you need to be an L1A. Can you be an H4 EAD? Absolutely. Can you be an H4 completely? Yeah, there are ways to file those things too. So you don't have to be an L1A to file a EB-1C. Of course, you already said that you're a high-level manager position in India and you're a high-level manager position here. Those are the qualifications, not whether you are an L1, L1A, L1B, or H1B is not to be looked into.
Okay. So it means like even if I'm on H1 visa, I should be eligible for the EB-1C, right?
Right. That's right. That is right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Because when I had this query, I really did not get a positive response from anyone. So people told only L1A to EB-1C is approved.
Not
the process for
true.
It. That's fine.
Not true at all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your time. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Let's take our next caller. Next caller, please. Okay. Caller with number ending 5929. We're ready for you, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Nitya Garu. Hi, Rahul Garu.
Hi, sir. Thank you for calling us.
I have a question. Yeah, thanks. So I have a question. So I'm on H1B in US, and the last couple of months ago, I became a Canadian citizen. Still working on in US on H1B visa. So if I switch to TN visa per se, will my H1, because I have an approved I-140, my priority date is 2016 August. So let's say I move to TN, and then after 2 years, let's say, assuming, I don't think it will happen, but 2 years from now, if my priority date becomes current, can I switch from TN to H1 again?
Yes, sir. And you don't have to go through the lottery, though. There may be some small minor issues in moving to TN visa because you have an I-140 approval, though. Okay, there are some minor issues that may happen.
Exactly.
But if you move to the TN visa, can you come back to H1B without going through the H1B lottery? The answer is yes. Can you do it in the next 1 year? Let's say if you move to TN, can you do in the next 1 year? Absolutely, you can. Can you do in the next 2 years? You can. Can you do in the next 5 years? You can. Can you do in the next 10 years? You can. Can you do in the next 20 years? You can. Can you do the next 90 years? You can. Not 91 years because I don't expect you to live that long. You can come back on H1B for the next 90 years.
Okay, last question. So if I leave US and find a job in Canada and working for a Canadian employer, after 2 years, will my 140 will remain active or will it become abandoned? It's past 180 days anyway after approval. But
That's right.
will do they keep it can I still come back on H1 based on that I-140?
Absolutely. Even if the company withdraws the 180 days, you can still use the same I-140, file a H1B from a different company and come back in. It won't affect it. This I-140 is valid for you for the next 90 years, the same as H1B 90 years. Now, you can still port the date from this company to another company for the next 90 years. Absolutely not a problem.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling us. All right, let's take our next caller. Next caller, please. Okay, caller with number ending in 5887. 5887, we're ready for you now. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you for calling us.
Hello, madam.
Hi. Go ahead,
Thank you.
ma'am.
తెలుగులో మాట్లాడొచ్చు కదండి?
మాట్లాడొచ్చమ్మా. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, రాహుల్ రెడ్డి గారు.
Yeah.
చెప్పండి.
అదే మాకు 2021 ఆగస్ట్ లో గ్రీన్ కార్డ్ వచ్చింది సార్.
Okay.
ఇప్పటిదాకా మేము యుఎస్ లోనే ఉన్నాం.
Keep going.
Hello.
Keep going.
ఇప్పటిదాకా యుఎస్ లోనే ఉన్నాం. 2.5 years అయిందండి. ఇప్పటిదాకా యుఎస్ లో ఉన్నాము. ఫిజికల్ ప్రెసెన్స్ మీట్ అయ్యాము. అయితే ఇప్పుడు మేము ఒకవేళ ఇండియా వెళ్తే ఎవ్రీ 6 months కి ఒకసారి ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి ఒక 10 days ఉండెళ్ళి సిటిజన్షిప్ పాత అచీవ్ చేయొచ్చా సార్?
You can. Definitely you can. But at the time when you are applying for the citizenship, you have to stay here for 3 months. And after applying for the citizenship, also you have to stay a little bit longer time for you to obtain the green card. But yeah, you can obtain that path of coming every 6 months. And at the time when you're applying for the citizenship, you can stay here until you get the green card. You keep staying more here and less going outside the country, then you will get the citizenship. Because out of the 5 years, you have to be physically present 2.5 years, which you already met. Okay?
ఎస్ సార్. సో 6 months కి ఒకసారి వెళ్ళొచ్చి మేము లాస్ట్ లో 3 months ఇక్కడ ఉండి
After 3 months, you stay in the country and you continuously stay here until you get the citizenship. You can obtain the green card. Okay? Thank you.
ఓకే. సో జస్ట్ వన్ క్వశ్చన్ సార్. మా పిల్లల్ని అక్కడ ఇండియా స్కూల్లో జాయిన్ చేయొచ్చా?
Are they US citizens or Indian citizens?
ఇండియన్ సిటిజన్ అండి మా బాబు. వాడికి గ్రీన్ కార్డ్ వచ్చింది. సో ఇండియా స్కూల్లో జాయిన్ చేసి 6 months కి ఒకసారి ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి ఒక 10 days ఉండి వెళ్ళొచ్చా?
I would request you to speak with an immigration lawyer. That would be much better though, because you're planning to move the kids. The kids have to be moved back and they have to stay. There are, it depends on kids' ages and all those different aspects that are there. I would request that you contact an immigration lawyer, okay, to plan the entire trip.
Rahul sir, is there someone in your office that she can get in touch with?
Yeah, she can get in touch with any of our lawyers in our office.
So ma'am, ఆఫీస్ ఫోన్ చేయొచ్చు, ఫోన్ చేసి వాళ్ళ టీమ్ ని కాంటాక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు మ్యామ్.
షూర్ మేడం. షూర్ సార్.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for calling us.
Nitya, I would appreciate if you would just stay here and get the citizenship and then move out. That will be much better. Yeah.
I agree.
Instead of going through all these consultation hurdles, I would try to do that.
Yes. Since we're working so hard towards getting that.
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate goal. All right. For those who have called in, unfortunately, we're all out of time for today. Rahul Reddy, sir, thank you so much for being on the show today and for patiently answering all the questions. We really appreciate your help, sir.
Thank you very much, Nitya.
And to all those who are tuned in, we will be back same time, same place next week. This is Nitya Baya from TV9 signing off. Have a wonderful day.
హాయ్, మీరు చూస్తున్నారు TV9 USA. నేను శ్రీలత. వెల్కమ్ టు A to Z ఫాస్ట్ న్యూస్. సోమవారం పన్నుల రాయితీ సహాయం పొందాలని వందలాది మంది ప్రజలు సౌత్ గెర్నాన్లోని వాక్-ఇన్ సర్వీస్ సెంటర్ వెలుపల లైన్లు కట్టారు. సమయానికంటే ముందే సెంటర్ మూసివేయడంతో వారికి నిరాశ ఎదురైంది. ముందుగానే సోషల్ మీడియాలో ఈ విషయం తెలిస్తే ఇంత ఇబ్బంది అయ్యేది కాదని ఎంతో దూరం నుంచి వచ్చిన వారు చెబుతున్నారు. శుక్రవారం టెన్నెస్సీలోని అండర్సన్ కౌంటీలో 2 వ్యక్తులు నడుపుతున్న సింగిల్ ఇంజిన్ విమానం కూలిపోయింది. మిచిగాన్ అంతర్జాతీయ విమానాశ్రయానికి వెళ్లవలసిన ఈ విమానం మార్గమధ్యలో కూలిపోయి విమాన భాగాలు నివాస యార్డుల్లో పడిపోయాయని పోలీసులు తెలిపారు. చికాగో సౌత్ సైడ్ బ్యాక్ ఆఫ్ యాడ్స్ పరిసరాల్లో 18 గన్ షాట్ రౌండ్స్ వినపడ్డాయని వచ్చిన అలర్ట్స్ కి సంబంధించి పోలీసులు సౌత్ డామెన్ అవెన్యూ సమీపంలో పలు కాల్పులు జరిగాయని నిర్ధారించారు. 8 మందికి కాల్పుల్లో గాయాలు కాగా వారిలో 7 ఏళ్ల వయసున్న బాలుడి పరిస్థితి విషమంగా ఉందని, 7 ఏళ్ల పాప చనిపోయిందని తెలిపారు. పెటాలుమాలో 40 అడుగుల ట్రైలర్లో దొంగలించబడిన సెమీ ట్రక్ ని గురువారం రాత్రి పోలీసులు వెంబడించి నార్త్ మెక్డోవల్ బాలీవార్డ్ ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ వే వద్ద పట్టుకున్నారు. నిందితుడిని శాన్ ఫ్రాన్సిస్కోకు చెందిన 41 ఏళ్ల గ్లెన్ హాఫిజ్ గా పోలీసులు గుర్తించారు. అతని ట్రక్కును నియంత్రించడానికి ఇబ్బంది పడి ఇతర వాహనదారులకు ప్రమాదం కలిగించేశాడని తెలిపారు. ఇలినాయ్లో మోనికా డేవిడ్ అనే మహిళ అనుమతి లేకుండా దంతవైద్యం సాగిస్తుందని పలువురు ఆరోపిస్తున్నారు. లైసెన్స్ లేకుండా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తున్నందుకు లే వెగాస్